course, is the prospect of Donald Trump coming back into the White House next year.
That hangover? I don't think so.
Yes, he didn't like this question. According to this tweet, John Kerry on the possibility of Trump stopping the climate agenda. They are not going to stop what is happening on a global basis. This economic transformation is going to be the biggest transformation in human history and is going to happen. If you look at his face, it clearly tells you everything you need to know. He said he cannot comment on political issues, but it can clearly tell you here he responded.
So you can feel American leadership at this, at this COP. We've made progress. But hanging over all of this, of course, is the prospect of Donald Trump coming back into the White House next year.
That hangover? I don't think so.
That's journalistic license. If he gets in, the prospect, there's this prospect that all of this could be for naught. So that begs perhaps an awkward and difficult question. How good is the word of the United States on the international stage at this point?
I think it's 100% good, and I think that nightmarish prospect, I'm not allowed to comment on politics, actually, so I shouldn't.
Well, I'm not stopping you. I'm sure the room would love to hear
You'd love
all
it.
of your thoughts.
My body language was enough of a...
Yeah.
Folks, no, I am not worried. Honestly, could he or someone else who doesn't want to listen to the science, who doesn't read about it and doesn't care about the facts, have an impact? Sure. But they're not going to turn this around. They're not going to stop this. I will say to you, they're not going to stop what is happening on a global basis. This economic transformation is going to be the biggest transformation in human history. It's bigger by far than the Industrial Revolution, and it is going to happen.
Yes, I always ask myself, why are these people panicking when they mention his name? In another video I posted, I think 1 day ago, I was not fortunate enough to have the complete footage of this video. AI God says social media algorithms disrupt democracy and need to be banned. They are the digital equivalents of AR-15. They shift from an information ecosystem based on print to one based on broadcasting and then moving on to the internet and to social media.
But in the United States and in Western countries and other nations that have adopted a form of representative democracy that's similar to the one innovated in the U.S., the shift from an information ecosystem based on print to one based on broadcasting and then moving on to the internet and to social media has disrupted the balances that used to exist that made representative democracy work much better. These centralized information systems tempt autocrats to control information. You know, Hitler's book, The Triumph of the Will, implies a question, triumph over what? One thing it triumphs over is the authority of knowledge, because a free self-governing people rely on a shared base of knowledge that serves as a basis for reasoning together collectively. But if you have social media that is dominated by algorithms that pull people down these rabbit holes that are a bit like pitcher plants, these algorithms, they are the digital equivalent of AR-15s. They ought to be banned. They really ought to be banned. It's an abuse of the public forum. But when people are pulled down these rabbit holes, you know what's at the bottom of the rabbit hole? That's where the echo chamber is. And if you spend too much time in the echo chamber, what's weaponized is another form of AI, not artificial intelligence, artificial insanity. I'm serious. I'm serious. QAnon is just the best known version of artificial insanity. And these devices are the enemies of self-government, and they're the enemies of democracy. We need reforms for both democracy and capitalism. Both sets of reforms are possible.
They are the digital equivalents of AR-15. They shift from an information ecosystem based on print to one based on broadcasting, and then moving on to the internet and to social media has disrupted the balances that made representative democracy work much better, because a free self-governing people rely on a shared base of knowledge that serves as a basis for reasoning together. That is according to this man. When I posted this video, I saw a lot of people saying, for the very first time, I'm agreeing with this man. We all know what he has been pushing on the past, just like John Kerry. They have the same agenda. When I saw this, I tried to reason out why he actually said this. It is concerning. If you can say they should ban social media algorithm, then I don't get the point. What triggered my attention was this: the shift from an information ecosystem based on print to one based on broadcasting, and then moving to the internet to social media has disrupted the balances that used to exist, that made representative democracy work much better. Are you trying to reason this out? If you notice, most social media companies now, the way they've made it, if you are trying to imagine something or just trying to search for something, what will come to your feed will all be about that thing. A lot of things has been drifted. Things have been put on Google that are not supposed to. So sometimes when I look into what he's saying here, it makes a little bit of sense, though I hardly agree with him. There are many issues that I've disagreed with. I think during that Davos 2022, he said a lot of things pertaining to these climate issues. The forests are burning. Within 2025, we will not be able to exist. A lot of speculations. When I saw that, I just started doubting this man. I dropped that video. The comment I saw, a lot of people were furious, like they know him for a very long time, the kind of agenda he's always passing. So I learned a lot when I posted that video. So him coming out to say social media algorithms should be banned is actually concerning. I want you to know your thought pertaining to this video, because sometimes I don't want to comment much on things I know less.
Who's that?
That's the mind control program you're under, Bill.
MK Ultra?
Yeah.
So who's Klaus Schwab?
The head of the WEF.